Yeah, my name is Tobias Kokemper. This is my colleague Julius Kramer. We are from Vizrt. Thank you, first of all, for the invitation here. This is really nice event. We didn't understand much, but we saw a lot of TriCasters, which was really nice in the presentations. So my background is really, I'm coming from NewTech, which is now Vizrt. And today we can talk about hours about TriCasters, but now we're talking about cloud production with my colleague Julius Kramer. Julius.
Hello from my end. Nice to meet you, everyone. Yeah, well, today we're going to talk about live production in the cloud, which is like really interesting what we do in there. And before we start off, I just want to talk like in general, what does it mean in the cloud, right? Because usually what we sold you were these little tiny boxes, right? This one, or there's a bigger one down here that you just put in your gear room. You connect your displays to it, and then you do your live production with the TriCaster. What we also have now is like, you don't have to buy the hardware. You can rent the hardware from AWS when you need it. So you pay for AWS costs, and you just get the software license from our end to do your live production. And that's especially interesting if you have a production that is like, you know, every weekend, you need, for one day, you need a box for 3 hours. You would basically probably not buy an additional box, right? You could just rent the hardware and use the cloud for that. So what we did, let me sit down to show you. So basically what we did, we put the full gallery in the cloud. That means you have a vision mixer, you have audio mixer, you have a transmission, and all of that put together in the cloud. So let me see what you see. You see my screen. This is great. So actually, when you start off with the cloud, with AWS, you get an interface that looks like this. And here you start creating your network. You start creating your security, your firewall, all of that. And that's something where, when you come from a production point of view, where you get overwhelmed by the possibilities and by the settings you have to do and the choices you have to do, and to make it super secure, it's really complicated. So what we did as Vizrt, we added an interface for it. So what we have is a product called VizNow. VizNow enables you to create your, I call it little OB van, directly in AWS just before you need it. And the idea behind this, I mean, what you need in an OB van, right, is a vision mixer. We just saw one before. We need a vision mixer. We need some audio mixing. We need intercom. We need a graphics system somehow, probably. And you need some distribution pipeline to send your signal out. If you start with this, we can just create a new space. And the space is like, think of it like an OB van. We put everything in there what you want. So let's select that space. And what we can do, we can just create our OB van by the push of a button. That means we get our TriCaster in there. It's a software-only version, of course. Then we have from Vizrt Viz engines, if you want to use them. We have Trio to control the Viz engine. We have Mixbus from Havision, which is a company we are partnering with, to have audio mixing. We have the NDI discovery server, of course. We have an NDI bridge to get in sources via NDI bridge if you want to, like for camera feeds to bring them to the cloud, or also having monitoring back from the cloud, because probably you want to see what you're doing and you need to have cameras in the cloud. There are no camera connectors at AWS, like generic SDI connectors, so you need to have some encoding mechanism to do it. We can add more stuff if we want, like, oh, right, Telos. I saw some guy with a Telos shirt here, so we are partnering over there. We are partnering with Telos to create an IP intercom solution. So you would have also your IP intercom in your OB van if you want it. You can just add it. And now we just click deploy, and it would automatically create all the machines for us. This will take like 10 to 15 minutes. All the machines are pre-configured to see each other, to have licenses, to have predefined projects, to have, you know, everything you need to run your OB van. Once that is done, after the 10 minutes, you have your space ready. And we have, I'm just taking the stuff we did for IBC actually. So we have our OB band running now. And now I can just connect to the system by downloading a file. Let me just check it was that file that I downloaded. Connect to the system. Well, it might look a bit weird now because I'm on my laptop, and that's actually something where, you know, you would have probably a proper screen. But this is my TriCaster, and this one is, I think, located in Frankfurt right now. You know, AWS, they have different data centers all over the world, and you can decide where you want to have your stuff hosted. So we have systems in Ireland, we have systems in Frankfurt, you can have it in Paris. I don't know in Czech Republic if there is any AWS data center yet. I'm not sure, but probably Frankfurt is a good choice for you guys to have like low latency there. So usually we have like from the internet connection to Frankfurt, we have like 20 milliseconds. So that's the delay we have to control the system. And well, what we did is actually, here we have cameras from here sent to the cloud using NDI Bridge. So on my laptop, I have NDI Bridge running. NDI Bridge is collecting all the NDI sources from this network over here and brings it up to the cloud. And now it's quite easy to just cut to another source here. And you see, as I click the button, the image is like immediately there. So it's a normal live production. And then you can start off with your magic. You can basically create your projects in there. You can do all your import your graphics that you had on your on-prem TriCaster if you have one. And the good thing here is it's pay-per-use. I mean, you pay it when you need it. If you don't need it, you turn it off, and you're basically not paying nothing, but you'll not pay a lot because you have to pay for the storage that you take from AWS. It's like a small fee. And basically, the high costs come when you are with a machine online running. So what does it cost actually? Like AWS cost for this machine that's running here is like $4 per hour. That's like the cost roughly. So if you have a full day of live production, it would be $50 per machine. And as I said, if you don't need it anymore, you can turn it off. So that's actually our really big solution. What did we do with it already? There are already some customers using it. We have the European League of Football doing it. European League of Football, the league doesn't have a lot of money, but they want to have a really good presence. So they hired a company in Munich, and they actually provide all the streams for them. They maintain their app. They maintain their portal to download video clips. And there are quite a lot of football fans in Europe who watch these games. What they did before, they sent OB-WAN companies on site, hired them. You know, when there was like a game in Hungary, the OB-WAN company from Hungary needs to go on site. They had the cameras. They did the production. They sent it via satellite to some distribution network, and then it was online. What they do right now, they created like, I think 5 or 6 galleries in their bureau in Munich. And in there, they do live production. I think it's like 5 matches every weekend. And the good thing is, they need 5 directors, and they have like, I think 3 matches at the same time. But then just afterwards, like an hour later, they have another match. So they can use the same staff to do the first and the second match. And that's like super interesting for them because they don't need to send anybody on site to Hungary, have the flight costs, the hotel costs, and so on. They can just stay in Munich. And then they bring actually the signals from the stadiums. They use LiveView to send it directly to the cloud. LiveView is a technology where they basically combine 5G, 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi, whatever network you have, and they send it up to the cloud, and they decode it to NDI, and then it travels from their server to our system. We do all the vision mixing, production. They add in graphics, like augmented reality graphics. I have no clue about football, but there's like some kind of a line that you need to understand the game, and this needs to be an augmented reality, a thing that is like stuck to the field. That's something where they really were struggling with, because they need a very expensive hardware to do it, because you need to do image-based analysis to check where the line should go. And so they are doing it in the cloud, and that makes it much more affordable for them. And then they produce the feed, and then they send it out to some external commentary solution, and they do the commentary in, I think, 6 different languages and send it out to the different platforms. That's how they work. And that was done by using the VizNow. So the key thing here is, for the VizNow stuff, this is actually, we are providing the service for you, but the AWS account is yours. So you have to like do your own deal with AWS. You need to get in touch with them to see what they can do for you. And we are only controlling your AWS account. To get a bit smaller, we decided to also have a TriCaster as a software as a service solution. So instead of having your own contract with AWS, you can just go and use the TriCaster Now solution to do that. Let me find the TriCaster Now. It's up here, down here. The TriCaster Now, the Teams. The TriCaster Now is actually the same thing. It's a TriCaster as a software solution hosted somewhere in AWS, but you just buy credits from us. You see, I have like 10 million credits because my colleague was super friendly with me. So you would buy credits, and whenever you start the system, the counter goes down, and then if you recharge, you get more time to use it. And then you basically just go online with the machine. It will start up my TriCaster in the cloud. And then once it's started, I can just connect it. The credits, I don't know how it works with the credits. Maybe you can explain where to get them. I have no idea.
I mean, there are like 2 packages. It starts from the 1st of January. There's a Discovery Pass, which costs like $65 a month. And there's a Basic Pass, which costs $150 a month. And then you get like 11 hours per month are included, and if you need more, you can buy coins, and 1 hour is about $30. And if you run out during a production with coins, we not block the TriCaster Now subscription. You can go on and pay later. So this is not like block off.
Great, you're the sales guy. This is like okay. So this one is just starting off. So basically, I don't think I need to explain to you anything about the TriCaster itself. You're all familiar with the system. You know what it can do, and it provides basically the same functionality that the TriCaster already has in the hardware, plus a bit more, because the hardware we have in AWS is a bit more powerful. So, for example, we have added like 1 more streaming output, so you could have 3 streaming outputs. We also, there are some more minor things. So that's actually the cloud full package we can provide for you. But there's one thing that I want to talk about, and that's the graphics thing. For the graphics, well, you can of course use one of our Viz engines to do it. But this, in many cases, is like an overkill, right? Because the Viz engine is a full OpenGL renderer 3D environment to do like virtual studios, to provide really high-end quality broadcast graphics, and of course, that's quite expensive to do. So to have an easier solution, we decided to go with HTML5 graphics. So we have a system, this is called FlowX. FlowX is actually a graphic system which will provide you an HTML5 website as an output. So if I go here, this is actually my graphic system where I create my graphics. So you see I have some live bug over here, I have my QR code here, I have another bug over there. I can create all these graphics in here, and once I finished, I can open my remote panel for it, and I could just, you know, bring them in whenever I need them. And the good thing here is you can control all of that also from your TriCaster. So that means, yeah, maybe before I show you that, the big benefit of doing it like this, I mean, of course, you can create your lower thirds in Photoshop and import them to your system, right? But what about real-time graphics? You have data that need to be shown directly on air when you need it. So with FlowX, we have the option to bring in any data that is available in the internet directly to your graphic system and update the data, the graphic, based on these data in real time. What does it mean? I mean, for lower thirds, it's quite easy, right? We can just write in here. I'll just type my name, update it, and it will be on the output. The output, by the way, looks like this. This is my output, and I put that URL to my vector. I think it's already in there. Should be already in there. Come on. Here we go. Okay. So we can just add this graphic directly to a buffer, and it would render the graphic in there. So the real-time graphics for lower thirds is not very interesting. But how about weather? I mean, we can just add weather here. Seems to be like right? When I left the hotel this morning, it was like this. Ah, it's updated now. So when I go home to Munich, it will be snowing. Oh, I don't like that. But London is like, it's not raining, which is interesting. So for your live production that you do for especially like sports, we also added a new feature to collect data from wearable devices and bring them in. So you could have your smartwatch or the sports smartwatch. So if like all your sport guys, they have smartwatches, you can import the data to the FlowX system and directly show the speed of the guy, I don't know, the pulse of the guy, what all is transmitted in the connector we have. And you can do many, many more things with it. I think that's something, if you're interested, we are happy to do another demo or something to give you the full overview. So going back to our system here, I'm not sure what type of graphic we have or what type of graphic we have here, but actually, as we are using NDI to control it, we should be able to also move around the cameras, right? Ah, Tobias, it's your back here, right? Hello. So we can just move the camera, and as I said, this is all. I'm using like a stupid laptop over here. The machine that I'm controlling using this TeamViewer type of thing is based in Frankfurt. So it's not like based under the table over here, so it's really based in Frankfurt to work with it. Now let me turn that camera around to see you. Ah. It's like a bit better like this. So, and by using NDI here with NDI Bridge, it's super straightforward to get your live production to the cloud, if that's a workflow that's interesting for you. So to be like serious, I would not do a 24/7 news shows in the cloud for now. But for example, for Ukraine, we provided some cloud systems just when the war started, right? Because they said, oh, we need to take care, like we never know if they will bomb our TV studios. So we would like to be prepared. So we gave them some systems so they have a gallery set up in the cloud for disaster recovery, for example. And that's a really interesting thing to think about, because it would not cost you much, but you can make sure that you can, if you have any peak production where you run out of hardware, you can use the cloud to make it happen, even without buying another TriCaster. Yeah. Anything from your side you want to add? Nothing. Okay. During the lunchtime, I'll be there outside. Come and just ask any question you want. Sadly, I need to leave around, I think, 2 or so to the airport. So afterwards, you can reach out to Peter, to Tobias, or to me via email. And I'm happy to answer all of your questions.